Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early on another fantastic Friday. It's a little cold, but we're happy that you're joining us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Gabrielle Gardner, wishing you a happy Friday. You made it.
We've made it.
You made it to the end of the week. Congratulations to you. Or the end of the work week. Congratulations to you.
It's the end of the week. Week finished. We ain't doing nothing else.
You're right.
We ain't doing nothing else. It's Monday already. No, it's not Monday already. What am I talking about? We got a great weekend ahead of us.
Yeah.
It's still the month of love. And I see you are dressed out, ready for the occasion. You got something planned this weekend?
Absolutely. I am feeling the love. This is my way of sending hints to my husband that Valentine's Day is approaching and to get his plans together. Now, I am looking forward to the Brian McKnight concert, which is happening tomorrow at the Nassau Cruise Port. I think there are still tickets on sale if you want to come out. But yeah, that's definitely my exciting plans for the weekend. And of course, we're watching the Super Bowl.
Oh yes, that is happening. The Super Bowl is this weekend. That's like Valentine's for sports fans, right?
Right.
Who love football. Wear your red on Sunday. Well, they could be wearing red anyway because it's the Chiefs and the 49ers.
Yeah.
But it's a red weekend. I did not get the memo. I'm so sorry.
You really missed the mark
I
today,
did miss the mark. I'm just glad to be here. What a week. You know, we were passing around a little bit of sickness in my house. Everybody is fine now. Good morning to my wonderful wife and all 4 of my children, Isaac, Eli, Onyx, and Luna. Good morning. Daddy loves you. Have a great day at school.
Aw, that's beautiful.
I always wanted
You know
to do
what,
that.
Mark? I'm going to be as quick as I can, but last time we were on the show, you asked me how I knew. My husband was the one.
Ooh.
And so I know that we have a competition coming
you
up,
do.
and we're going to be showcasing our winners on Monday. I think it's time for you to tell us your
It's my
story.
turn. I gotta keep it quick because we got things to do. The first time I saw her face, it just felt like I knew her, and it felt familiar. We ain't family, but it felt familiar, right? And it was a picture on High Five. It was a High Five profile. And if you know what High Five, that's telling you age, right? So it was that. Secondly, it was when she met my sister and my mom. You know, in this whole process when you're trying to find a partner, you have to bring them to your village.
Absolutely.
And my mom and my sister are my village, you know, and my sister signed off on her one shot, Nina. She made sure and gave me the word to don't blank it up, right?
Ah.
And so I listened to Nina. And then last but not least, she just loves children. And I knew she would take care of our children, and I knew a person like that, I'm lucky to have, so.
Aw.
I can stop right now, right?
Beautiful.
But we got to keep it going, guys, because we got a lot coming up. We got a great show for you today. The Lightfoot Key International School is here to talk about their win in the 2024 Junior Junkanoo Parade, Marching Up Bay. And we're also here about the 2024 Clement Bethel National Arts Festival. And the Zenicazelaya boys are here to talk about the Super Bowl 58 predictions. We love to hear from Naughty and his sons to find out what's going to happen this weekend.
Absolutely. And we're continuing our series with the Bahamas Trade Commission discussing national trade policy. It's February, as you can see, and love is in the air. So we invite you to enter our Valentine's Day contest to win a weekend stay for 2 at Comfort Suites Paradise Island. Couples, tell us how you knew your partner was the one. Please send a 2-paragraph answer to athompson@tclbahamas.com. Deadline is today. Today's the day at 12 noon. Please include a phone number and a photo. Winners will be asked to appear on the show Monday, February 12th. As Mark mentioned, Super Bowl 58 is happening Sunday, February 11th, and we want you to play our Super Bowl predictions game. Head over to our Facebook or Instagram page and answer the questions on our game flyer. Email your answers to kalri@tclbahamas.com. The winner and second place finisher will receive prizes and be asked to appear on the show Monday, February 12th at 6:30 a.m. The deadline to enter is today at 4 p.m. So we have a lot of exciting contests going on. You definitely want to enter today. But before all that, we're going to check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Gabrielle, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather at sunrise, high pressure now the dominant weather feature across the islands. Those winds in northwest have subsided, and those winds are still breezy across the central and southeastern islands. yacht mist and stale, one or two little passing showers could occur during the day. So for the day, we're waking up some clouds, but for the most part, we can look at partly sunny, a bit warmer and breezy over the central and southeastern islands. Your high temperature reaching 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, a few patchy clouds around. So on the cool side, your low temperature going down to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 86 and 77. In Jamaica, 85 and 72. In Trinidad, 1974. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 78 and 68. Across North America, Atlanta, 65 and 57. In Boston, 48 and 37. Miami, 76 and 68. Dallas, Texas, 70 and 54. And Toronto, Canada, 50 and 40. As usual weekend, a warm weekend, so weather-wise, partly sunny skies, warm temperatures, though temperature daytime will now reach the low 80s, at nighttime in the upper 60s. That puts wrapping a first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. The students of Life at Key International School left their mark on Bay at the 2024 Junior Junkanoo Parade last week, placing first in the all-age category, making this their fourth championship since 2013. Here to tell us more are Elizabeth Taylor. She is a music teacher. We have Shavincia Saunders. She is also a music teacher. We have Kingston Haynes. He is a grade 6 student. And Iyah-Eden Rolle. She is a grade 7 student. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. The Dragons are in the house. I love it. Give us a little background on Life at Key Schools.
So Life at Key School is an international school, and we decided to join Junior Junkanoo 10 years ago. And our first time coming out, we won. And since then, we have tried to come back year after year, sometimes every other year. And we really just want to make sure that our students are aware of our culture, our community, and to be a part of the Bahamian culture.
I love it. I love it. Bold to step out. That's that dragon principle, right? So what is the program that Life at Key School had to undergo to prepare for Junior Junkanoo? Tell us how you got there.
So we started preparing what was a very strategic plan. Excuse my voice, pardon my voice.
Worries.
So we started preparing from our co-curricular programs, our afternoon programs. So we learned how to pace. We learned in those programs drumming. We had our brass lessons. I worked with the brass, and I helped a little bit with the pasting. Miss Taylor was the master paster extraordinaire. I'm not really good at that, but I did my best. But we also had programs in the afternoons for during the day on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Our elective programs that were dedicated solely to Junkanoo. So it was just a Junkanoo theme.
That's awesome. The master pace, it sounds like you fringing by hand. Good old.
Yes,
There
yes,
you go.
and I'm teaching my students how to use the shears and how to fringe. And so you go through and like, no, that's good enough. Do it again. Do it again.
Start
or
over.
you're like, no, pull that off. Do it again. So we really wanted to make sure they had the right techniques for pasting, for fringing, and a real appreciation for a beautifully done costume.
And the story of Junkanoo, is that taught, the cultural aspect of it, aside from the music and the art, is the culture and the history also taught?
Yes, it's a part of the elective program. So I know for me personally, when we introduce Junkanoo, when we get into that Junkanoo season, we talk about the history, how it went from sponge to newspaper. We want them to understand that Junkanoo it continues to evolve, and it's a big part of why we are Bahamian. It's one of our biggest celebrations. So because we're international, we have a lot of parents who know nothing about it. But by the time we're done, they can tell you all about Junkanoo. They can out-fringe almost anyone, and their children can tell them all about why we do this and how to do it, and they take pride in the costumes that they're building. So it's an important part of our education, and it's something that you will see even in the MYP program, our middle years program, where we have people come in and do workshops on Junkanoo.
Sound like I need to sign up, man. I need to get my fringing on par. So Iyah, tell me, what was your experience like with the Junkanoo Parade?
My experience was very words escaping. I had a lot of fun with my fellow Junkanoo performers. I performed as the choreographed dancer, and we carried the costume Butterfly Fairies. We were the pink and purple wings. And I just love it. Junkanoo is a part of me because I come from a Junkanoo family. My mother's a Saxon, my daddy's a Valley, and we call ourselves one family.
Oh, there you go.
So we love the culture, and I just remember the preparation. It was an amazing experience for me and my friends, for those who didn't know about Junkanoo, and I'm glad that I got to witness them learning about it because I love my history and I love being a part of it.
Fantastic. I'm inspired. I'm ready to go back to school to do Junior Junkanoo with you all. Brother Kingston, tell me, what was your experience like in Junior Junkanoo this year?
My experience with Junkanoo was like amazing. I came from somewhere where we didn't do Junkanoo. This is my first year ever doing Junkanoo, and it was like awesome. I got to experience like a different part of every culture of the Bahamas, and I got to experience Junkanoo for my first time.
That's fantastic.
I also got to learn a lot of the traditional Bahamian songs. And it was like really fun doing the brass. I was playing the saxophone.
Oh, there you go.
In the brass section, so it was super fun.
That does sound good. And so, tell us where you're from, and just overall, just how do you feel now that you've gone through and won your first parade with the school?
So, I'm from Texas, and obviously in Texas we don't have Junkanoo. So, my experience with winning the parade, it was an experience that unlike any other. This is actually the first parade I've ever been in, and it was honestly amazing.
Awesome.
So
I want to talk to you again. Tell us what it's like on the ground, because we know in the senior Junkanoo parades it's very competitive, but when you're down there junior Junkanoo, do you feel the competition between you and the other schools?
Yes, as we were lining up, I could feel the excitement through the air. A lot of our teachers were cheering us on, and I just remember this moment so vividly. The moment we reached Roston Square, to the left you see dragons, to the right you see dragons, and you're just focused on that moment, and it's just inspirational for the younger students and the older students to say that, hey, no matter the age, you could have fun. And I just love how our dragons represented us because we were all fired up.
Awesome. I'm fired up now. I'm ready. Once again, I'm ready. Tell us about some of the other faculty and school participants that helped to get this group ready for Junior Junkanoo.
Well, it was a whole school community initiative. We had many teachers who assisted with the pasting. They would come by, they would get paper to fringe by hand. Of course, some of them would complain and they were like, oh my goodness, I don't want to fringe anymore. We'd be like, please, we need it. We appointed people who were like master fringers, our main fringers, but they all came by. They came in to get costumes to paste. We hosted pasting parties where everybody comes by and people in the community, we have family, comforters. My mom made comforters. Shout out to my mom. She made comforters. And it was a big community effort. And I know even with my mom, she learned how to make pants taught by his mom, right? And because we had the parents coming in, they were sewing, they were pasting, they were constructing, they were tricking. It was a huge, huge effort on the part of the school and the wider school community.
Well, that's fantastic. It just tells the whole idea. It takes a village to support our children in any venture they're in, whether it's Junkanoo, whether it's at schoolwork, whether it's in the athletics. Just stress again how important it is for all Bahamian children or all school children in the Bahamas to understand Junkanoo and potentially experience what it's like to be in Junior Junkanoo.
We really need to pay attention to the fact that Junkanoo is our main cultural expression. And I think it's sad that more schools don't participate in Junior Junkanoo. Even if they start off as an exhibition, it's good for them to see what that experience is like, to teach their children why we have Junkanoo, how it's changed over time, and that Junkanoo is something that the whole family can participate in. And we've seen that where all the children were a part of it, the parents came down. It is something that is really a community experience, and it would be wonderful if more schools did it the way that we do it, where it's an elective product. It's something that all the children will be a part of and they can learn. And if you don't know, you bring people in who do know, and they teach you and they teach the children. And so at the end of it, you now have these empowered students who can go out there, and even if they go to Switzerland, even if they go to Brazil, they can talk about Junkanoo, and they can bring more people here to experience that wonderful cultural event.
I love it. I am a believer. And that's the
Excellent.
formula for success. I think we should be replicating, and we congratulate y'all on all your success. Iyah, before we go, what do you say to other students out there who maybe never participated in Junior Junkanoo that maybe want to do so this year?
I would say to come on down, because Junkanoo is a learning experience. Being there it enhances your skills, because you learn different things. You learn how to paste piece of crepe paper on a wax sheet. You learn how to build a costume. And in our Junkanoo electives on Thursdays, you could see the process of how we learned how to wire the back of our costumes. We could have fringe with the scissors. We pasted. I remember the times when I was tired of pasting, my hands were numb. But it's just an all-around experience because Junkanoo is a way of life, and it just makes you better as an individual, because if you know better, you would do better. And Junkanoo just shows that in everyday life.
Awesome. Kingston, before we go, you get the last 2 words. Describe the feeling of Junkanoo in as few words as possible. Go for it.
All fired up.
I love it. Say no more. I love it. Thank you all for being here this morning on the show. The Lyford Key School Dragons, the winners of the all-age group in the Junior Junkanoo. Congratulations. Keep that formula churning, and let's get some more of your Texas friends out here, right? Let's get some more of these saxophones playing. We appreciate y'all coming on the show. All the best in this year.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're watching Mamas at Sunrise. The Dragons! The Dragons! We'll be right back.
Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a comfort suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of comfort suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit comfortsuitespi.com. Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together, or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
Welcome back. The national trade policy is based on 4 pillars. One of the pillars is export diversification. This segment will look at the link between the national trade policy, the colored economy, and trade-in services. With me now to discuss this are Senator Barry Griffin, Deputy Chair of the Trade Commission, and Ian Cargill, Member of the Trade Commission. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. It's good to be back and so soon.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you guys planned this in advance, but you're both looking very sharp in your blue early on this Friday morning. And
Thank you very much. I'm trying to keep up with the young man here, so you know.
Yes, and we're so glad to have you with us. Speaking of blue and other colors, what areas in the colored economy are being targeted by the national trade policy?
Thank you for having us this morning, Gabriella. So to give our lovely viewers at home a recap, when we first appeared, our first segment on the show, we discussed that the national trade policy is a coherent set of short and long-term policy actions that are aligned with the National Development Plan for 2040. Now, in that policy, there are 4 pillars, essentially. 1, there are too little exports. 2, there are too many imports. And to give you a little insight into that, in 2019, we exported approximately $537 million worth of goods and services. However, we imported $2.2 billion.
Wow.
So we export roughly 15% of our imports. That's amazing. 3, there's a lack of diversification of exports, and the things that we do export, they're highly concentrated. For example, again in 2019, 90% of our service exports related to tourism and travel. And the 4th is a lack of production capacity and competitiveness. And so, to answer your question, the colored economies which the national trade policy deals with are the green economy, which is your agriculture, your energy, the blue economy, which is your aquaculture, your marine technology, your tourism, your shipping, and then the orange economy, which is your culture, your entertainment, your art, your technology. And so the national trade policy, we really encourage everyone to pick it up because it provides policy actions to diversify and expand those sector economies, the blue, green, and orange.
Absolutely. So when you speak to that, I mean, 15% of what we import is what we export. Obviously, those numbers need to change, especially in a country as rich and talented, gifted as we are. Are there any specific targeted activities based on each color in the economy that we're doing to help that grow?
So the national trade policy, we want to say this is the first time ever that the Bahamas has had a national trade policy. And so this government fully recognizes the dichotomy of what's going on. And so not just increasing our exports, but one of our targets is also diversifying our imports. So one of the targeted areas that the government is really focusing on is cost of living. The reality is the goods that we do import are just so expensive, and we import them from a limited number of jurisdictions. And so one of the things we want to do is, through our trade promotion, we go across the world, virtually and physically, to promote Bahamian products to be sold in jurisdictions around the world, but also to see what the world has that we currently buy that may be cost competitive. So for example, something as small as a can of tuna may be $2 in the store now, but maybe we can diversify where we get tuna from, for example, from Ecuador instead of the United States, where a can of tuna can now be 50 cents. And so that's trade promotion, that's going out into the world and basically saying these are the goods and services that we provide in the Bahamas, and what is it that you can provide that's cost competitive. In particular to the colored economies, if you would see the government's blueprint for change, it specifically addresses the target areas of the colored economy. So for example, for the first time, we now have the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. So it signals to the public, to the world, that we're now focused on the blue economy. And so you would see that there are a lot of targeted initiatives, for example, in carbon credits. That's a huge thing that we're doing to take advantage of our ocean and resources. So not only are we tackling climate change, but we're trying to find a way to make money and bring more resources into the country through it. You've seen things in agriculture such as the new egg program where we're producing more chicken eggs that can be used in the country here, but also exported. The creative economy, as you would see, I think the acronym is CAPUS, so the Creative Arts and Performance School, which was the consultation was just launched a few days ago, and they continue. So we aim to start a national creative arts school to encourage the production of more art, more culture, focusing on the creative economy, but also doing it in a structured way where the folks in that area can get proper advice on how to export that. So you have Junkanoo clips on the internet that Junkanooers are not making money from.
Yeah.
You have Bahamian artists whose images, their photos, their art being replicated around the world, but they're not being able to take advantage of it financially. And so one of the things, for example, that we're doing that the AG announced is we are updating our intellectual property laws to be sort of world compliant with best practices. And that's intended for all avenues of our economy, but really our creative economy where our artists can take advantage of that. So when you put your music on SoundCloud or Apple Music, when you create a painting, you know how to protect it intellectual property wise, so that you can take advantage of it around the world.
So you kind of touched on it in terms of the creative assets, those intellectual property, digital assets, things like that. How do we trade services? I think it's very easy to track, okay, we sold, 2 million cans of tuna, but how do you, trade services between countries as collectives?
Thank you for that question. So trade is the selling and buying of a good or service. So when you talk about trade of service, talking about the selling and buying of service, the World Trade Organization in 2023 identified 4 ways that trades of services can happen. The first being cross-border trade, for example, a Bahamian firm providing consultancy services in the United Kingdom. The second is consumption abroad. For example, someone in a foreign country or jurisdiction coming to the Bahamas to seek medical advice. The third is commercial presence. For example, on the flip side, you have banks and hotels which are set up in the Bahamas from other countries. And the last is presence of natural persons. So that would be, for example, a temporary person or group of persons going to a country for a commitment or to do business. And so those are the 4 ways that the World Trade Organization identifies trades of services. We see in the Bahamas trades of services in sectors such as tourism. We see it in hospitality, we see it in finance, we see it in the professional services. In Italy and Spain, there has been identified a market for telemedicine services, which is when you do audio or visual check-ins with your doctor. And so those are just a few examples.
I love that. I want to dig a little deeper. I've seen some trends online. I guess this is a microcosm of it. It's very small scale, but I've seen, beauticians who have become popular in social media, and folks are traveling from the U.S., from different countries to come and see them. Again, we have artists. We have our very own Tavares Strawn. He has an exhibit going on, I think, at the Art Academy of London that has garnered a lot of, international attention. What are those opportunities for the everyday Bahamian to participate in international trade?
So I think the opportunities are many, and I'm glad you said that. So oftentimes when I speak, in particular to young people and to students, I tell them, very cliche kind of statement that we all would have heard growing up, but the world is your oyster. But even more so now, just what you said, through TikTok, through Instagram, through social media, you can have thousands or millions of eyes on you from your room in the Bahamas, from your school in the Bahamas. And as you said, we've seen trends where, African American women are flying to Jamaica to get braids and paying $800 for it. And so I would say the opportunities are many, but in particular, the creative economy and professional services and services in general. So any service that you provide, we want Bahamians to begin to think Nassau isn't your only market. The Bahamas isn't your only market. The Caribbean isn't your only market. the world is your market. And so if you promote yourself globally, you are able to go abroad to provide those services, that's trade, or you're able to attract people to come here to the Bahamas for you to provide those services. Or if it's a service that you can provide on the internet, you don't have to move anywhere. So sometimes, for example, and sticking with sort of services and the example you use, you can give makeup tutorials online and get paid. So women around the world like your makeup. They like how you, as young people say, put your fit together. And you can give consultations around the world. All of that is international trade. And so through the national trade policy and the work that we're doing in promoting the trade policy, we want to encourage Bahamians to trade in the world. Again, the disparity in what we sell to the world and what we purchase is huge. And so we want Bahamians to know that any service you provide, any good you provide, you can trade with the world. And so have a look at the national trade policy, and we're here to help you figure out how we can assist. So for example, if you contact the trade unit and say, hey, I'm in this business, I'm in this service, I'm selling this product, I want to go out there into the world, can you give advice? We are able to give specific industry advice. We're also able to give specific jurisdiction advice. So we can say, based on your industry, we think your services would appeal well to XYZ market. And so here's a country profile of countries in this region. Have a look at that and figure out how you can sort of approach that. And so again, that goes through across the board. So we use services like beauty services, but that goes across for lawyers, for accountants, for doctors, for people who make products, soaps and specialty handcrafted products. We just want Bahamians to know that there are many trade agreements that we are part of, and we want the average Bahamian to begin taking advantage of them.
I love it. I love that you're just highlighting all of these opportunities for us to strengthen our economy on a global scale, I will say, but also on a personal level, and take the gifts that we have and share them with the world.
Correct. And yes, Gabriella, I would like to add that the national trade policy also focuses on sustainability. That's a huge limb of it, and also promoting women and youth businesses. So we encourage everyone to take a look at it. It speaks to spiny lobster. We export 4 million spiny lobster a year, but and it employs around approximately 9,000 fishermen. However, the status of spiny lobster is healthy because the government has been able to implement healthy practices, including annual checks and certifications. So the national trade policy plans to expand on that and to bring other ideas to the forefront, and we really encourage everyone to pick it up.
Yes, absolutely. You have no excuse. It's literally in black and white so that you can be abreast on everything that you need to advance your business and advance our economy. Gentlemen, thank you so much. It's always an education when I speak to you.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, but also to speak to the larger Bahamas.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Hey Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while doing my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's NUA. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early on another fantastic Friday, and we're at the mid-show. Thank you for sticking with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner, hoping that you are having a happy Friday.
A happy and warm Friday. You're all snuggled up on your couch. Maybe you're dressed for work. The children are all dressed. They greased down. They ain't got no ashy elbow and knees. This is my house I'm describing. They're sitting around waiting to get in the car, throwing their lunch bags, get to school, learn. You head off to work, have a successful Friday, and then beat the weekend bad at Brian McKnight, right?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Top tier plans.
Yeah. Super Bowl weekend. Sunday it's coming up. I hope you got all your gear ready. And, you have the backyard grill outs. You have all the restaurants and bars that have their functions going on. I don't know. What if you were going to watch the Super Bowl, where would you watch it?
Usually, I prefer house parties. I prefer going to a friend's house. I'm at a loss for my plans this year because my husband has to work on Sunday, so I have to revisit my Super Bowl strategy. I usually just follow him to whichever friend he goes to.
Yeah. Wherever there's a comfy couch and good food, you're going to find me there. But we got more stuff coming up in our second half. We'll be talking about the 2024 Clement Bethel National Arts Festival.
And the Zenicazelaya boys are here to talk about their Super Bowl 58 predictions. TCL invites you to attend the 25th Annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook, Thursday, February 22nd. Check our website, tclevents.com, for more information and to register for the conference. Now, let's take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Davriel, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, high pressure net dominant feature across the islands, and so we're looking at a warm weekend and also stable conditions. Those winds will still persist across the central and southeastern islands, so we still have that caution over those areas, even through some swells in the area. In the marine forecast today, winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet in northwest and central Bahamas, 15 to 20 knots seas for the south feet. Over the central and southeastern islands, those swells up to 7 to 9 feet. On Saturday, southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet in northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. Over the central and southeastern islands, those swells still up 7 to 9 feet. On Sunday, winds southeast to south at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet in northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet. Over the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. Just had a high tide at 7:02 this morning. Next low tide will be at 1:29 this afternoon. High gain this evening at 7:22. Sunset 5:58 this evening. Rises tomorrow at 6:48. UV index 7. Your water temperature 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase, no moon. Your external look. High pressure will dominate the beat over the weekend. So for the most part, stable, warm, and dry conditions. Temperature daytime will be in the low 80s. At nighttime, in the upper 60s. That's what you're up on your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. The Clement Bethel National Arts Festival is back, and it's scheduled to take place for 4 months, starting this month in February. Joining me now to tell us more about this are Sonovia Pierre. She is the Senior Cultural Officer of Music, and also we have Abby Smith. She is a Cultural Officer for the arts in the Clement Bethel National Arts Festival. There should be an acronym for that.
We joke about it, but yeah.
It probably doesn't roll off the tongue nicely.
No.
Good morning, ladies, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
So, what year is this in terms of this
65.
festival?
65.
Whoa!
Yeah, it started in 1959. Wow. So it's 65, including the COVID years, which we did not take off. We did digital.
Awesome.
So yeah.
65 years. What does that feel like, and what does that mean for this year's festival?
Well, it's a wonderful opportunity, and of course we made sure that the festival, when you have persons like Abby and Moya Thompson and those kind of persons coming into the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, it's following the trends now. We're getting younger. We're going digital. We're doing all this stuff, meeting the younger people where they are, doing stuff that they're interested in. The media, the rap, the recorded songs, the self compositions, art trends, the TikTok. We're doing all of that stuff and basically making the festival more accessible by live streaming. So if you're in Inigo, you can watch the persons in Grand Bahama, and so we're doing everything. And so that's what it means to be in National Arts Festival now.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, it still has its same essence.
Tradition,
Yes.
tradition, but the culture is
Exactly.
changing with the times. Basically, that's what it is.
Sometimes you get, dress up a little bit, change your clothes, put on a little different things, spice it up a little bit. So this year, when exactly does the festival begin?
It begins on Monday, actually.
All right.
First flight out to Cat Island.
Cat Island.
The home of Rake and Scrape.
So tell us a little bit about what's happening in Cat Island.
In Cat Island, we are grateful to have all 3 schools participating: Arthurstown Comprehensive, Old Bight Primary, and Old Bight High School. So we're excited to see what they have to offer. Of course, when you are an island that people say only known for Rake and Scrape, that's where you find a person from Broadway like we did in Long Island.
Yes.
And so now we're excited to see what's going to happen. We're excited to see what the kids are going to do from art to film to dance to drama to music, everything we want to see what they're going to bring. And Cat Island, if you're listening, if you're watching, Cat Island,
we coming.
I won't come too.
We heading to Long Island after that.
Oh, there you go.
We go to Cat Island and then we go to Long Island. So then we have the schools in Long Island as well. And we always tell people this is not only for school-age kids. Right. The teachers can enter, the community can enter, and we try and encourage the community to enter because we are there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we got Cat Island, Long Island, any other of the islands in
Not for the week after, so we have Exoma, and then March is the blowout month. We have Andros, we have the Southern Islands, we have Abaco, then we go to Grand Bahama. We're here in New Providence, and then we have Eleuthera, Bimini, and the Berry Islands in May. So we touch everybody. And we touch you with a hug.
Yeah. Touching us with culture too.
With culture, boy. Plenty
I feel like
culture.
we should be following you on this circuit. This should be a national circuit.
You should follow us. We live stream.
Right.
And so
I mean, literally follow you from island to island.
Let's go. You
right?
ready?
All the cameras.
You ready? Bring everybody.
We have to figure out Bahamas there, whoever it is. Let's go. Make sure that anybody who wants to follow the National Arts Festival route, we got to get them signed up, man. We got to get them sponsored and the 2 fly free and all the other little places because people want to travel and see these things live too, right?
We have to thank Bahamas Air because they work with us.
Yes, they do.
Sponsor
They
us.
do.
Perfect.
So and there's so many components of this because when you have a team that's traveling, we have a team of professionals who are adjudicators. We have Adrian Archer with music. Oscar Dames, who's doing instrumental, Ivana Gator for art. We have Ricardo Christie for dance. Who else?
We have Kent Minnis for film. We have Ariana Roberts for film. She's based in Grand Bahama. And so we're not just keeping it Nassau centric. We're trying to touch everybody in some different way, shape, or form because we understand it being national means that we have to have everything that's national. So
tell us, who are this year's adjudicators?
We just told
you. Again.
Adrian Archer, Oscar Dames, Ayana.
There you go. You did just tell me that.
Dion Cunningham, Dr. Dion Cunningham. We have Vincent Ricardo Christie. We have, like I said, Kent Minnis and Ariana Roberts. Am I missing anybody?
No, because you told me twice, so I
yes.
We should make sure they get them twice, for sure.
So who can actually participate in this festival? I know you mentioned there's some students. You say everybody, right?
Everybody.
Yeah, cradle to the grave.
Yeah.
There you
okay.
Just think about you doing your Christmas recitation. My recitation is entitled, and you just come up there and do your thing.
That's good. That's good. And so the structure when you get to these festivals now, you're in the theater, you're in the schools. You have a program that's going on for people in the community who want to attend. Everything
is free.
Okay.
Everything is free, and everybody's welcome to come. We, like she said, we're live streaming. If they want to know where we are in the community, they can call the ministry, or we're all over social media, literally.
Yes.
The Clement Bethel National Arts Festival page, my page,
the Division of Cultural Affairs page, the Ministry of Youth Sports Bahamas, Sports and Culture Bahamas page. We're everywhere. Just look for us. We everywhere.
All over.
Yes.
If I wanted to register, so if I want to come down deep into Long Island where nobody know me to come sing my song, how do I register?
All right,
Go
so
ahead.
so when we released our marketing plan, of course, you know, like we said, keeping with the trends. So if you have access to that, you scan our QR code
We got
and then you
QR
register.
code.
And so
Fancy.
every genre has their own registration form.
Okay.
There is a cost because nobody said everything is free. It's free to view, but to enter, it's $5 for an individual in the school and $10 for a group or duet. If it's the community, then it's $10 for an individual and then $20 for a group or duet. And you know, of course, you know, for festivals like these, you have to sustain them. So of course, there has to be some level of a cost to them because we want it to be accessible for all. It's not at a high price point. So we tell persons not only enter, you know, they just enter, enter because it's not just for just saying I want this trophy, but it's a national honor to show everybody, you know, I am from Cat Island. This is what we do, and this is how we do it. So how do you do it in Exuma?
There you go.
You know, that's what we want. We want a sense of national pride.
I love it. I'm sure at the end of this is probably some videos, some like video montage is going to come out of this. I can't wait to see it because I can just imagine how great that would be.
Listen, and Moya Thompson, our film person, she
Yes.
got that.
She got
in
that.
December, we do the national awards
Yes.
where we bring persons in. We were here on
Yes.
Bahamas at Sunrise.
Yes,
There you
we
go.
were.
And we brought a young man in from Long Island. So
Yeah.
we want to bring the best from around the country so that everybody can see them.
This feels like the Bahamian Olympics of talent.
Yes,
Cultural
yes,
talent.
of course.
Culture.
Bahamian Olympics of culture.
There you go. Bahamian Olympics of culture. So tell us again, how can people find out more about the festival and where you guys are going to be on what dates?
So you can visit our social media pages and or you can call the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and you can ask for Sonovia, Pierre or myself. We're there to help you with anything that you may need. Like we said, everything has been released on social media, of course. We have sent it to our district officers. We've sent it to the principals. We've sent it to island
teachers,
administrators.
everybody,
We've sent it to
parents.
whoever has an email, whoever has a phone. We have sent it or we have called them because we want it to be widespread.
Or find me on Facebook, which
There you
people
go.
usually do.
Walk up to you on the street, come tap on your car window, all of that.
I can enter festival?
Perfect.
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Well, we thank you again for coming on the show this morning. Always an exciting time when the festival kicks off. Can't wait until the end of it all and when you're back in December to show us who the overall
Yes.
is. Thanks again. Continue to do this great work. And thanks again for being on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. G-Day and I are going to go play the air rake and scrape. See y'all in Cat Island next week. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching.
Here are three young people who stopped attending high school and got disengaged in their educational journey due to the pandemic. Today, they are proudly taking their walk all over the place because they took advantage of BTVI's Smart Start initiative. All high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands can participate in free hands-on learning to improve employability, learn basic literacy and numeracy skills, and earn a BTVI certificate in automotive mechanics, beauty and construction trades, or fashion in only 14 weeks for full-time participants or 24 weeks for part-time. Don't count yourself out. Do what they did and enroll today. Email smartstart@btvi.edu.bs or call 502-6300 so you can take your walk anywhere in life.
This portion of Bahamas at Sunrise is brought to you by Jokers Wild, reminding you to get your laugh on with headliner L.A. Hardy, Amy Ashton, and house comic Naughty. Friday, February 9th to Sunday, February 11th. Doors open 8 p.m., showtime 9 p.m. nightly. Jokers Wild, located between the Coral and Beach Towers at Atlantis.
Super Bowl 58, the moment is here. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of the segment, I'm going to introduce my guests today. We have to my left, Naughty, host of Talking Heads on 96.9. Naughty, what's going on?
What's going on, Gary? Always good to be here, man.
Always, always. And I see you got your young protege to my left again, the baseball great, Andoni. I got to get that correct, Andoni.
Finally.
I know, right? Andoni, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just happy to be here.
And to my right, Santxo, what's happening, my brother?
I'm good, Gary. Happy to be here as always.
And we have a new guest to the set today, Mr. Earl Thompson Jr. He's no stranger to the Bahamas. He's co-host of Talking Heads. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Good to be here.
All right, so you representing your Dolphins
Every
today.
day. I don't give up on them, you know.
Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. It's a shame.
Unlike some people I know, you know.
All right, we can get into that right now. So the teams we got to this place now, Kansas City, They're here. They beat Baltimore recently, and then San Francisco.
Yeah.
They recently beat Green Bay and Detroit.
Yep.
All right, gents, let's talk about that. Let's talk about these teams, how we get to this point.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't see Kansas City making it. I thought Baltimore was going to actually win in the AFC, but Kansas City, Mahomes had the look in his eye from week 1 in the playoffs. Andy Reid is tough to beat when he's got, time to prepare for opponents, and Kansas City's been there. They got experience, so they got through. San Francisco avoided 2 major bullets in Green Bay, and Dan Gamble, not Dan Campbell, but Dan Gamble, and I'm not a gamble move he didn't like in his life. I hate to see him in a casino. I think his overzealousness cost the Detroit Lions in that game and allowed the San Francisco 49ers to get to the Super Bowl. So here we are.
Earl, what you have to say about that?
No, everybody calling Dan Gamble, and you continue to do in the playoffs how you got there. And he always went on the 4th down. He did it on his 20-yard line through the game. He actually was 20 out of 24 on 4th down moves. If he made that, they would have called him one of the greatest coaches, a gutsy coach and everything like that. So it goes on what happens.
Right.
If he had gotten to play, we wouldn't have been having this conversation right now.
But the dice came up snake eyes, so we call him.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens.
You can't really pin it all on Don Campbell because if you are, 20 is
24 to 7.
24 to 7.
Yeah.
There's no way you should let a team just hold you to 1 score after you put up 24. So we can't put it all on that
I agree.
one gutsy call.
Yeah.
The Lions did sort of choke themselves out of that game.
They got away from what they ran the ball 6 times, and maybe 8 in the whole second half. When they were running the ball all over 49ers, you come back to throwing the ball, you miss the pass, what happens? Clock stop.
Yeah, they went away from their game plan, just like Baltimore did. Let's talk about them. They didn't even use the run
So
game.
our subject over there with, Lamar's number 1 fan.
If you want to talk about choke.
Oh, okay. Mr. Jackson, Santxo, you have anything to say?
I don't want to talk. Listen, man, no. Listen, I feel like he has to take a lot of blame because when you commit 2 turnovers in the playoffs, you pay double for it. But our defense had us in that game. Kansas City scored no points in the second half.
Right.
I feel if we would have adjusted, Monken, what's his name? Spagnuolo was doing 0 blitz, cover 0 blitz. That's all he was doing, forcing Lamar to make his reads faster and go through the progressions faster. Had we adjusted to that, set up some short passes, screen pass to meet the blitz. We didn't do none of that. We didn't run the ball. They didn't scheme for him to read option, run the ball. And I don't think it was him though. I think he was just loyal to Monken's game plan of beating Kansas City. Because years past, he would have gone rogue.
Sometimes the great ones have to throw it up.
Yeah, go rogue.
Make sure let's go.
Years past, he would have gone rogue, but he's trying to be more of a team guy, team player. Just got his bag last offseason. Trying to be, that leader for the team. And I think that's what cost us too. But I have nothing to say about the defense. We played great. Offensively, it was horrible.
Yeah.
That's why we're gone.
All right, so we can get into the game today. Now, last year, Naughty and Santxo, they picked the right team, Kansas City. Andoni and I, we were on the wrong side, Philadelphia, but we're not going to dwell on that. We got a newcomer to the set today, so we're going to get to his predictions first.
Wow, okay.
So Earl?
I originally picked Baltimore to win it all.
Right.
I picked Baltimore and Detroit. So when I saw what happened, while I think the 49ers got a better team and better defense, you cannot count out Mahomes.
Correct.
Particularly in the playoffs. And like Naughty said, he had a look in his eye. He's a playoff quarterback, Kansas City. I make that anyway.
I've had to deal with the 49er nation talking about, the Cowboys not winning the Super Bowl in 20 years when they, in actual fact, have not won in 29 years. And I think that's a big deflection to take off of their, futility.
Right.
So this is the year in the Super Bowl, once again, they get there, but they're not going to match up against the karma that's going against them. The out-of-control Taylor Swift train, the out-of-control Travis Kelce love affair, the media in love with that story angle, Mahomes with the look in his eyes, and I like the Kansas City Chiefs to get it done. They've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and of course we mentioned Shanahan early. He has, the ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. He likes to choke. And Kansas City runs the football well in the playoffs. If you look at Pacheco, he's been running well. Last 2 weeks, 49ers let up $150 against Green Bay, $220 against the Detroit Lions. I look for Pacheco to run the ball. If Kansas City can maintain the run and get up with a score or 2, they're not going to go away from it. And they're going to milk the clock, and Mahomes has the look in his eye. If there's somebody who's going to be a dark horse MVP, remember the name early. Wide receiver, Rashee Rice, number 4. That is my dark horse candidate for MVP of the Super Bowl right there.
All right. Now, Santxo,
There's
Who you
nothing I
going
would
with?
want more for San Francisco to win because, you know, the Chiefs beat my team. I don't want to see them win the Super Bowl, but San Francisco's run defense has been atrocious the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Against teams who, and you're going up against Pacheco now, one of the best backs, especially come playoff time. It's going to be difficult for San Francisco. They're going to have to find a way to stop that rushing attack. And if the receivers like Rashid Rice, wasn't it MVS?
Yeah.
You know, Kelsey's going to show up. That's Kelsey. They're going to have to find a way to stop that, and I don't think they could defensively. Offensively, and here's the thing with them, they get down early. They were down early against Green Bay and Detroit. They were down 17. You can't get down against Kansas City. You're not going to come back from that.
Especially
You're not
Andy
going to come
Reid.
back from that. He
Yeah.
will mill that clock and they will win. So,
Yeah. So you're going with
as
Kansas
much as
City
I
as
hate
well.
to say it, and as much as I want San Fran to win, I can't help but pick against Mahomes. They're going to be the dynasty. They're going to be the dynasty. They're going to get their third ring. It'll be a close game, but I think they'll get it done.
Okay, and Andoni?
Well, I got Mahomes. He's been there. He knows the feeling. He knows the setting. I mean, you got a good team in the Chiefs. I mean, if you look at like the Niners, they've been in very, very close games with teams we thought they would really just beat the brakes off.
Right.
And Chiefs, they've always stayed consistent. They've always played through it. And like he said, the run defense has not been there. I think Isaiah Pacheco is going to punch them up and down, and I think he's going to win the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs are
MVP.
going to win the Super Bowl, and Isaiah Pacheco is going to win the Super Bowl MVP.
All right. Now we're going to get to the scores, gents. Earl, starting with Earl.
27-17 Chiefs.
27-17. Naughty?
I've been waiting on this one, you 49ers. I will refer to you as the 49ers when this is all said and done, and remind you that your futility continues. All right?
30 years.
I like the Kansas City Chiefs in a tight one.
All right.
27-23.
Wow.
Getting it done. 49ers rally late. Defense steps up big, and
Right.
Spagnuolo catches them with the unexpected blitz package late in the game to lock it down, because nobody remembers Spagnuolo beat Brady not once, but twice in the Super Bowl with the New York Giants. He knows how to derail an offense.
Okay. Santxo?
My score?
Yeah.
21-17, Kansas City.
21-17.
Close.
I got it. I think I'll go with. I think it's going to be 34-28.
High scoring.
points.
34-28.
I think it's going to be a really
scoring?
offensive shootout, just like last year.
Okay.
But I think at the end, the Chiefs are just going to have that. They'll want it a little bit more than the 49ers, and they'll come out on top.
Well, of course, I'm also going with Kansas City, but I'm a little different than Naughty. I'm going 27-21. Kansas City.
So everyone's got
Kansas City.
Boy, how do we all gonna be right this year? We all gonna be wrong.
Right? Also, we also want you to be a part of our trivia today. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram page and answer the questions on our game flyer. Email your answers to me at kalbury@tclbahamas.com. The winner and the second place finisher will receive prizes and asked to appear on the show this coming Monday, February 12th at 6:30 a.m. A reminder that the deadline to enter is today, Friday, February 9th at 4 p.m. So I'll see you guys next year, Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans,
Where the
Louisiana.
Dallas Cowboys will be playing to
The
win.
Miami Dolphins.
God's here.
kill the Dolphins. The Dolphins are not going to make it.
Baltimore.
We got Baltimore, Dolphins, Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I'll take the
Cowboys.
Baltimore Cowboys Super Bowl in New Orleans. Let's do it.
Boy. All right, thank you for joining us today. Bahamas at Sunrise will return after these messages.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Fantastic Friday, as Mark would say, here on Bahamas at Sunrise. We've had so many exciting conversations about preserving culture. We had the young kids from Life for Key, and then we talked, of course, about our economy and how to preserve that in different ways. And then you spoke with Clement Bethel.
Yeah, for the National Arts Festival, which I'm pretty excited about. And I'd mentioned it. I think that that's something that we should follow and stay in tune with it, support our young artists in our communities. Like she said, it's the Bahamian Olympics of culture. And let me know who's going to jump on the plane and follow them from island to island, because I'm going to join you. I mean, I wish I could, but yeah.
I just need a free ticket.
Yeah, just send the plane and we'll follow everybody. But I think it's a great thing that we love our culture. Culture is ever evolving, and let's embrace it as our own and ship it out to the world, right? It's ours.
Absolutely.
It's ours. And so we got a great weekend coming up. Just a reminder, we got the Grand Bahama Business Outlook coming up, and we're going to have our keynote speaker, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, who's going to be talking about the future of Grand Bahama, and we're planning for success and branding our national identity. But have a great time this weekend. Plenty red tomorrow. We have the Love Fest happening at the port, and we got the Super Bowl on Sunday. You could wear red and cheer for both teams.
Right.
So when one loses,
no one has to even know.
But thank you again for joining us this morning. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday.